Hi, my name is Christopher David Mitchell. I'm a coach, and today we're going to be talking about how to make big decisions in your life. So at points in my life, it's felt like I've been at a crossroads, a transition, or I've been going through some major changes in my life, and I've had to make some big decisions. And I'm going to be sharing with you 5 examples from my own life where I felt like I was at that crossroads of this big decision and what my thought process was as I went through that process. There's so much we could say on this. I could cover this for hours of what might be individual for you based on what the decision is, the risks, rewards, the part of the journey where you're at in your life. But just to help everyone here, I feel like every big decision boils down to this one thing of, if I've got a choice, I will counterintuitively pick the more difficult option. So let me explain why. Basically, it's a really hard one to get your head around, but when you're faced with 2 decisions, what I find is the more difficult path is often the right path for you to take, the right direction, the right decision for your life. And like I said, this one is counterintuitive because, as human beings, sometimes we're wanting that instant feedback loop of gratification or things that feel pleasurable or easy or quick fix. It's that quick fix moment. But really, when thinking about our life long term, I find that it's often the most difficult decisions that often lead to the best outcomes in the end. When making a decision, I often make the one that is most emotionally difficult, because often the decision that is most emotionally difficult will be the most rewarding for you in the end. So like I say, it's really thinking big picture. It's really thinking long term, whereas I find when most people have got a crossroads of 2 decisions, they're like, oh, I'll just take the easy option. I'll just take the quick fix. I'll just take the thing that I get the most rewards the most quickly, the most pleasure the most quickly. But that's never really the path to the good life. The path to the good life is doing the emotionally difficult thing, like writing that book is not easy. It's emotionally difficult, but then it leads to more rewards in the end. It's a better decision in the end. It's counterintuitive, but when everyone wants the easy option, it often doesn't lead to success. The easy options might be, it's easy to just forget about things and grab that beer and switch off your mind. It's easy to take other forms of drugs as escapism. It's easy to just get a job being employed by someone because it's more difficult to start off on your own. It's easy to sort of be lured into sort of a get-rich-quick type promise program scheme, but then that actually makes you more poor. So it's actually the longer road, the longer path, the more difficult path, which gets you the most rewards in the end. So I want to sort of give 5 examples here from my own life that might make this example a bit more clear. So a first example of when the more difficult path was the right path was when I was on my own at a point, I think it was about 2015, and I was dating a girl, and I knew there was a possibility of a relationship here. So I was thinking, okay, I've got a decision. Do I go in this relationship or not? And weirdly, I chose not to. And my my sort of logic behind that was, it would be more easy for me to have a relationship right now because I could get some comfort and some love off someone. But I knew that I needed to start my own path. I knew I needed to just focus on myself, invest in myself, invest in my own career, find my own way in life, my own life purpose. And those things I really needed to do on my own to grow the most. So again, it would have been easier for me to just get some love, care and attention from someone, but I purposely went out on my own and stayed single in order to grow myself the most. A second example of me going down a more emotionally difficult path was when I did the health video. So it would have been easier for me to have not done the health video. Check that out if you haven't, by the way. It's my survival story living with an ileostomy bag. It's on my page. So the easier thing for me is to not face that head on, and to just be like, oh, I'll just keep it to myself. The emotionally difficult thing for me was to take off my t-shirt, stand there, topless, ileostomy bag out, and just be like, this is who I am. That's more emotionally difficult, but then there's more rewards on the other side of that. So a third example I want to give is when I left my old company, New York Vocal Coaching. Great company, and it was a brilliant opportunity, but I still saw the bigger picture when it was a big decision of, do I stay working for this employer or do I go off on my own? Now, it would have been easier for me to have stayed and been an employee and have an employer, New York Vocal Coaching, who was giving me clients and making things easy for me in my life. But I went down the emotionally difficult road of going off on my own, learning about things myself, about how to get clients, how it worked, how to coach people, how to build a business from scratch. That was a harder path, but I knew it was the right path. It was much more emotionally difficult. I was scared, I was fearful going off on my own, but I knew that by going off on my own and starting my own business from scratch, I would grow more as a person. The next example of my own life of a difficult decision was when I went on a meditation course. So the first time I attended some meditation classes and I did a course, it was emotionally difficult to do that, actually. It's not physically difficult at all doing meditation. In fact, meditation might be the best example of something that is not physically difficult. But you try sitting there for an hour on your own with no distractions. It's very emotionally difficult for people to do that. That's why it's such a good practice. But I found that it was emotionally difficult for my ego to even go to a meditation class. I remember the first time I was like, what? I'm this northern guy, and there's this battle of the ego of like, that's not who I am, that's not my identity, do you know what I mean? So, that's just for Buddhist monks or something. So to be able to have the emotional strength to sort of say, do you know what, I'm going to try it. Do you know what, I don't care how it looks or how it might sound or this chatter of what's going on. I'm going to try it. And I think that the willingness to be able to try new things and be willing to evolve as a person is emotionally difficult, because it's easier to stay in your comfort zone and not try new things. But man, I'm glad I did. And the last example in my own life is a recent one where I went from doing just exclusively vocal coaching to now what I'm doing with my coaching, which is more broad, is more, I feel, hopefully evolved in helping people in other areas, not just singing. And so I've been coaching other coaches in online coach program. I've been coaching people about, what I would consider as hopefully healthy and good marketing and business advice for them. And I've been coaching people through times of adversity for them, because, that's something I've experienced in my own life. So to broaden my coaching out, though, from just being a vocal coach where I originally was, to coaching people in other areas of their life that I feel like I can help them with, was again emotionally difficult. There was nothing physically difficult about that decision of staying where I was just coaching singers or broadening out my coaching practice. But the thoughts of, this is what I'm known for, or, no one will want me to talk about other things other than singing. Like all the doubts and fears that come in with that, I had to battle and then take a step back and realize of like the bigger picture of my life, the big picture perspective of my life of like, yeah, this might be more emotionally difficult, but this will be more rewarding and fulfilling for me to evolve and coach people on more things, specifically meaningful things that are linked to my health story and stuff that I've been through. And it's also more beneficial for others because there's more people that I know I can help with certain parts of their journey. The parts that I've hopefully done myself of becoming a coach, which all links back really, right? Because if I'd have not taken the other examples of going out on my own and doing these difficult decisions, I couldn't then turn that whole cycle around, I suppose. I've just realized in real time of then, helping other people do that. Because what inspires people is not me staying in my comfort zone or just being a singing coach all the time or just being an employee at the same company all the time. I think what inspires people and why people come to me is that previously I have taken on these emotionally difficult decisions in my life. And so I hope that helps. And I still struggle with it. But to be conscious of the fact of like, if there's a big decision in your life, think big picture is a big one for me. And trust your intuition. Trust that gut feeling in you. But think big picture. Zoom out and see yourself and think, right, with this decision, what would it look like in 10 years' time? I'm always thinking like 10 years ahead. And as you think about that decision that you have, a big decision, a big crossroads, and you think, what would it look like going down this path? What would my life look like in 10 years' time? And that will be really eye-opening. And like I say, usually the more difficult path will be the right path. But it will be, you won't want to go there, but it'll be more rewarding in the end for you, because really it's never what you get at the other side of that big decision, but it's the person you become on the journey. As corny as that sounds, it's so true, So I hope that's helped today. And I was pleased to share some experiences there. And just evaluate for you and know that I obviously don't know your exact situation. So obviously in some cases, like the absolute most difficult decision that you can ever make isn't right. I'm just saying that the way we're wired as human beings, when we've got decisions that, we know are sensible decisions for us to make, but we're unsure, I often find that the thing that will grow you the most is the most difficult path. So check out my website, christopherdavidmitchell.com. I'm going to be doing some more coaching on there on how to guide people through transition. So if you want guiding through a transition in your life, then I really believe that there's so many more techniques that I can share with you to help you through that. So check out my website and like this video. It will really help me, and it'll help others see the video if you thought it was valuable. And share it out to a friend if you know someone who's got a big decision that they just can't make in their lives, then maybe this will be food for thought and will help them. So that's it for today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you watching, and till next time, I'll see you then.